well documented, the Democratic Party put their finger on the scale, their foot on the scale to make sure that Bernie Sanders could not get the nomination. I think if Bernie Sanders had gotten the nomination, we would be in a very different place in our country today. And but there's an antagonism and antipathy within the Democratic Party for people who have true progressive values, people who are challenging the predominance of Wall Street interests, of companies like BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So I would bet that if I asked each one of you guys to pick the biggest mistake you thought Joe Biden ever made, there's probably zero chance that we'd all agree. We'd have hundreds, if not thousands, of different answers, each one worse than the last. And you got to remember, even his allies, people like Bob Gates, they've admitted that Joe Biden has been wrong essentially on everything, not just as president, but for his entire 50 or 60 year Washington swamp rat career. And that's just us. We'd never agree on what he's messed up the worst. But I would bet that if we asked Joe Biden, or more accurately, his progressive handlers, what their worst mistake is, they know exactly what it's been. And they know that it's probably going to cost them the presidency. They're going to get Ross Perot, and it's going to cost them the presidency. But before we get into it, guys, thank you so much to everyone that's been subscribing and leaving such great comments. We're building an awesome community together. We don't always agree, but we are having a great time. Guys, if you haven't already, help us get our message out there. Hit the like button, subscribe, share. Really, really helps us out, and we appreciate it. So here's what's going on. President Biden has completely refused to debate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And, you know, we're seeing more and more of this from our democracy-loving and democracy-saving Democrat friends. Katie Hobbs apparently won the Arizona governor's election without even barely speaking. But here's the thing, you know, not debating is not even the worst thing that Joe Biden did regarding RFK Jr. The man has refused multiple requests for Secret Service protection. And the White House, apparently they control all this. Their reasoning for not granting it is that they say they only grant protection to serious candidates. Well, he's polling pretty well for someone who's not serious. And that just seems like a scam. And here's the thing, even if you don't believe the man is serious, which he is, even if you don't believe that there are credible threats against him, which there seem to be, the man's a Kennedy. Do you really want a third Kennedy killing to happen on your watch? It's almost as if they just don't care. And surprisingly, very few people are talking about this, but let's see what some of the few have to say.
Fox News alert, RFK Jr. is dropping out of the Democratic primary and will announce an independent run for president. Mediaite says RFK will announce October 9th in Philly.
I'm not going to tell you right now exactly what that announcement will be. I can say, though, that if you've been waiting to come to one of my public events, this will be the one to come to. I'll be speaking about a sea change in American politics and what your part and my part is in that change. A lot of Americans who had previously given up any hope that real change would ever come through the American electoral process have begun to find new hope in my candidacy.
Kennedy's independent run will devastate Biden's shot at re-election. Kennedy's polling at 15% with Democrats. If Biden's the nominee, 15% of American Democrats will have Kennedy as an option. Mellon scooping a critical piece of the base away from Joe. A massive miscalculation by President Biden, who was supposed to have a seasoned touch, denying Secret Service protection to a man whose father and uncle were assassinated. Refusing to debate and rigging the primary will now likely cost him the White House. Yes, some Trump-leaning voters may cast ballots for Kennedy, but if you're a Republican and you see Trump, Biden, and the name Kennedy in the booth, you're voting Trump. But that's not the only shakeup coming.
So yeah, man, I mean, the fact that these guys say he's not serious is insane. The man is polling at 15%, and that's with no support from the DNC. That's with either radio silence from the media or outright censorship replaced with propaganda. I mean, imagine where this guy would be polling if he had actually gotten even halfway fair shake. 15% is huge. I mean, imagine if just a few percent of those people in just a few states voted for a third party RFK Jr. Remember, some of these states we're talking about, they decided the presidency with just a few thousand votes. So a percent or two in any of those states, that's a wrap. Anyway, man, it's fun to watch. I knew when he came out that Kennedy was going to be trouble for these people, especially the way they were treating him, the way they were silencing him. We've done a couple videos on it. And, it's just another example of what should happen when the powerful try to manipulate the narrative. Anyway, guys, that's just my take. Let me know yours in the comments. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.